Guys, am I live with you? Please tell me. I hope I am live. So I need to change this name because learn chess is there today, now in this time, right? Okay, hello. Anish is there, Swarali is also here, Shivendra is here. Wow. So you guys are here, quite happy. So, okay, fine. So, okay, I wanted to ask you something. Like, did you guys practice something whichever we learned yesterday? Did you do anything related to it? Did you solve tactics or something like that? Because I think that's very important. Like whatever you do, we need to practice. Uh, Guys, my light went off. That's why a little bit glitches there. Sorry for it. Okay, fine. So you have solved the double attack. Swarali is saying like that. Okay, and Anish is also. So I watched your Sicilian video on Chisbin channel yesterday. Got a lot of to learn. Okay, Tina, you have watched that video. That's quite cool. Okay, I'll be doing more of Sicilian videos very soon. Uh, Guys, there is some problem. Means my light is gone here, but still I will continue until my battery lasts. Okay, but I will be come back. Okay. Okay, Mayuri is also here. Yeah, Shivendra. Actually, my light is not there, so it's very dark here. So, but my battery is there. Still, I am streaming. Today is Thursday, and on Thursday the electricity is not there in my house. You need to bear for it for some time until the light comes, or maybe like that. Okay. Is that okay? I hope it's okay. So let's start with today's session and see what we can do today. So before we go further, I would like to solve some of the puzzles like for the revision for the yesterday. So can you do this thing? Yesterday we were looking at discovered checks. So can you tell me which move will you play here? D5. Yeah, d5 is actually a correct move said by Shivendra here. Anish is also saying d5. Absolutely right. Because once you play d5, you will be giving a discovered check to this opponent's king. And that is very nasty because even if he plays queen to the f6 in this position, we will be winning the queen. And I was telling you yesterday that whenever we are trading pieces, we should think that what is beneficial for us in the going run. Yes, Swarali, you are also right. Tina, right? Correct. Very good. So I will go to the next one. Today, this is just the revision of yesterday. Okay. Let's go to the next one now. And this is a little bit complicated, but I hope that you guys will find it out. Which move will you play? See, there is no direct attack right now. Sorry. Okay, Anish is saying Queen D7. Sorry, guys. Don't worry, I don't have corona. This is just the normal thing. Shahid is also here. He's saying Queen D7, King D7, and then D into C5. Yes, guys, you are right about this thing. You need to first of all bring your opponent's king on the D file, and that you can do by playing Queen into D7. Although we are sacrificing the queen here, but in return we will be getting back after D into C5. The queen on B6 will be captured after some time. So that is a good trade, because even if we play king to the C6, we will capture the queen and then we will be rook up in this position. So that is a good thing for us. Okay, that's cool. So we will move to the next one now and try to figure out what will happen. Okay. Yes, Tina, you are also right about this thing. Which move will which move will you play? Aro is here. Aro, you are a little bit late today. Aro here. Yeah. So D7 is suggested by Vaishnav, Krishna, Shivendra. Shahid is also suggesting. Okay, my light is back. I hope it will be much better now. Can you see me much better now? I hope so. Okay, fine. So I was जब भी कोई हेलो एवरीवन बोलता है मेरे को अगर मैटर की आवाज सुना देती है. Okay, okay, fine. So you are right about this thing. D7 should be played, and after that, King A8. Whenever you play, you will be capturing the rook on A8, and then it will be winning for us in that case. So you are absolutely right about this thing. So let's see what we can do on the next thing. Just wait a minute. Light just came, so bear with me for 1 minute. I will be there for you. Okay. Now I think I you can hear me properly and everything. Everything is set, right? Are you still there with me? Yes. Okay, fine. So the next puzzle we are going to solve, and then we will start with our today's theme, which will be a little bit different, because today we are going to learn some new tactics. Okay. So here what will you play? We want to give discovered check, but there is no discovered check because there might be a possibility that this rook is there. Yes, Anish, you are absolutely right about this thing. Shivendra, you are also right. First of all, we need to make him play this queen so that we can play this pawn here. How will you force him to play this queen? By playing queen into f8, because once you capture the rook on f8, he will be forced to capture the rook, and then we can play check. There will be a discovered check because we are moving the pawn from the square, and this is a check. And then after that, if he plays king to the g8, we can capture queen into f8, or we can play some other move also, and then we will be rook up in that case. Yes, Arrow, you are right. Swarali, you are also right. So let's go to the today's new chapter and figure it out what will happen. Okay, so today the first thing which I want to tell you today is like double checks, right? Yesterday we were looking at discovered checks, now also we looked at discovered check, but discovered checks are more deadly, I'll say, when you can give two times, like two checks will be given at the same time. Then your opponent will not have any kind of okay, first of all, I'll show you the position, then I can explain it much better so that you should understand. So this is the position on the board. Okay, discover double check. Yes, yes, you are absolutely right. Can you see the board properly? So as I was mentioning, there will be a discovered check on this file, right? The knight, if it moves, then our queen will be giving check to this king. But whenever we are going to give discovered check, in that case, if we can give two checks, okay, like knight to the f6, in this case we are covering this d7 square, and then we are covering this e7 square also, and that's why white will be giving check and mate, you can say, because black will not be having any chance to capture this queen on e2. Even though black can capture, he cannot do it. He cannot capture the knight on f6 because he doesn't have time. If he goes for capturing the f6 knight, he will be getting check from the queen, and if he captures the queen, he will be getting the check from the knight. So whenever we can give two checks at the same time, we should do it, because our opponent will be helpless in that case. In that case, he has only one chance, that he can just move the king. He doesn't have any other chance. Okay, for more like to understand it much more, I'll say that when you give check to your opponent, usually he has three chances. Like one thing he can do is like he can move his king. Okay, okay, Omkar is here. Okay, thanks Omkar for coming. Move the king. First thing is like move the king, otherwise he can capture the piece which is giving the check. Okay, and another thing which he can do is like he can bring some other piece in between, so that there will be some obstruction between the checking piece and the king. So these three things can happen. But when we give double check means with the two pieces you are giving checks, at that time he cannot do anything. He can do only one thing, that he can move the king. He cannot capture your piece by which you are giving the check. He cannot bring any other piece also in between, like the bishop cannot come on e6, or bishop on e7 cannot come here, because there is different check is there. Okay, so whenever double checks are there, that will be a very deadly weapon at your disposal. So let's get to the next position and try to understand it much better. Okay, so in this position, how will you give double check? There will be a discovered check, but in discovered check there is some addition, that we are giving two times check. Yes, yes, definitely a knight's check cannot be blocked, because knight jumps and jumps. Yes, Anish, you are right about this thing. We should give bishop to the b5 check. Krishna, you are also right. If we play bishop to the b5, here we are giving check with the rook, as well as we are giving check with the bishop. Yes, Shahid, you are right. Arav, you are also right about this thing. Perfect. Swarali, correct. Now in this case, as I mentioned earlier, the king can only move. But here the king doesn't have any square to move because this square is blocked. This square is also the controlled by the rook, and his own queen is there, which is blocking his path because he cannot play the queen or any other piece in between because he is getting checks from both the sides. Yes. It's a checkmate. Yes, definitely, Mayur, it's a checkmate here. And we are talking about the discovered checks, but the double checks. Okay. So again, what will you play in this position? Okay, again, discovered check should be there, but there should be a different check. In this position, you can say this bishop can move. Okay, if you want, you can win the queen by playing bishop to the f4. That is also winning because he doesn't have any way to save the queen. Or we can even play this move and we will be attacking the queen. He might play queen to the d5, but we can, let's suppose I'll play this move. He will play this and we will be getting the queen. But we have already lost the queen. So that is not a good trade for us. Okay, fine. So I have two options from you guys. You have already told me one thing, that is bishop to the g5 and bishop to the a5. So I will consider both the options which you are telling me. Okay. Here bishop a5 was suggested to me by Swarali. Okay, and Arav is also suggesting bishop to the a5. I agree with you. You are giving two checks to this king, but if you give these two checks, the king will be having these two squares to move around. Okay, let's see what happens if he plays king to the e8. After that, you can give him only one check, and then he will be having this square. So he is running away, right? So we need to understand how to block our opponent's king. We need to always try to find out a pattern in which he will be checkmated. Yes, first shocks in chess when I used to play with my more cheesy classmate in 9th standard notebook chess. Wow, that is a very fond memory, I will say, Mayur. This is okay. Here another suggestion which was given to me in the comments, like bishop to the g5 check was given suggestion. So here let's see, he has these two options. He can go to the e8 square as well as he can go to the c7 square. So we'll consider both the options. What will happen after that? If he goes to the king to the c7, then we can say that okay, this file is already there. We are controlling the d8 square and this bishop can come to the d8 square. And if we move the bishop here, then this king will not be having any squares to go around, and that's why it is a check and it will be a mate. Okay, so king c7 is not working for our opponent. If he plays king to the e8 in this position, then what will you play? Absolutely, this is very easy. We will play rook to the d8 because our bishop is there, and it will be a check and mate to our opponent's king because e7 is something which we are covering. So always try to understand like what we can play after the move which we play. Sometimes it is one move checkmate, but sometimes it is not. When it is not one move checkmate, we need to check a little bit further. Okay, Mayur is saying, but that's how I learned not to open the diagonal like that when bishop and rook are attacking b8. Definitely, Mayur, we should not open too much of the space when we are playing in the initial stage of the game. Especially, it's very important to safeguard our king in the initial stage. Okay, Tuve is here. Thanks, Tuve, for coming. Okay, let's go to the next one now. Here in this position, I hope you will figure it out what you should be playing. This is a little bit, you can say, the previous thing. Animation is also here. Move. Which move will you play so that you can apply the thing which you just learned now? On the previous puzzle, you learned something and you need to apply it here now. Okay, guys, write down the complete variation because I need complete variation from you. Complete variation. Yes, Tuvia. Okay, Tuvia is writing the complete variation. queen d8, king to the d8, and then bishop g5, then king will move to the e8 square, just like the way we saw. So this is why I suggest you should solve many tactics, because once you understand some pattern, like the way you understood the pattern with the bishop check and then rook is coming there, then if the pattern is there on the board, then it will click to you, oh, I just solved this tactic in my previous lecture or something like that, and then you will be able to execute it on the board. That's why it's very important to keep on solving tactics. The maximum tactics you will solve, the maximum knowledge you will get, and you can apply those tactical patterns on your board. Okay, Swarali, yes, you are right about this thing. Shahid, you have given two variations. That's really nice. Okay, I was expecting this thing. Definitely, you have done a great job. Queen d8 is the best move because we just learned some pattern and we are able to execute it. So that's why you should keep on solving tactics. Guys, just tell me that will you solve tactics from this today? You should solve many tactics. And if he goes to the c7 square, obviously bishop d8 is a check and mate. And if you place king to the e8, we just saw that the rook to the d8 is a check and mate. Okay, let's go to the next one and find out what will happen here. It is black to play. This is very easy. I just want to know from you that what will you play? Okay. Anish is saying he solves 10 every day. That's very good. You should. I will tell you one thing. Like I always tell my students, like this thing. Like tactics solving is like brushing your teeth. Okay. You should not do it too much, but you should not forget to do it. So whenever you wake up every day, you brush your teeth, right? Maybe two times in a day, sometimes three times also, but at least after waking up. So same way you should solve tactics at least for 10 minutes one time, and if you do it two times, 10 to 15 minutes one time, then half an hour in a day, tactic solving will definitely help you. So always brush your teeth and always solve your tactics. Okay, that will surely help you. Tactic solving is equal to brushing your teeth. Okay, don't forget, otherwise after some years you will be without your teeth. Yeah, Tuvia solves lots of tactics. I'll tell. Tuvia is my youngest student. He's just turning 9 or 10 now, and he solves plenty of tactics. He took my advice to a little bit further. He doesn't brush his teeth. He eats dinner, lunch, everything with tactics. Okay. On basic chess data, it's helping a lot. Okay. Yes, he's turning 9 in 9 days. So knight f3 is the move which you suggested. It's a check and mate because we are giving check as well as we are covering this d2 square. Okay. Yes, you should just keep on solving, but the time limit should be there. You should not keep on solving for hours and hours because we have other things to do in life. So I suggest you to at least do it for 15 minutes to half an hour every day. There should always be some time limit for everything because time is very limited and we should utilize the time accurately or wisely, I will say. Okay, here what will you play? Knight to the d6 is suggested by Anish, but in that case he will be running away on d7 square. Always figure out where your opponent is trying to run away. Okay, I will tell you the term, like whenever your opponent's king is trying to fly somewhere, so those squares are called as flight squares. Okay, as you are new to this thing, I am telling you the names also. It is called as flight square. Okay, he is trying to fly away with king to the d7, so that square is named as flight square. Okay, Tuve is saying king f7 is actually he cannot play. The bishop is there on c4. The square is already controlled. So after knight to the f6 check, it will be a double check. He doesn't have time to capture your queen. He doesn't have time to capture your knight. Even though both the pieces are hanging, still it is a check and mate. It is a very deadly weapon, I will say. This tactic of double check is very very important in your games. I personally won some games because of double attack and double check. So here, which move will you play? Again, you have this discovered check is there. We can move the knight and we can win material. We can capture here, we can capture here, we can play here. But you should evaluate like which is the best possible way for us. Okay. Sometimes there is no checkmate. In such cases, we should go for the best possible, like the beneficial thing for us. If there is no checkmate, then obviously I will capture the rook on e2 because rook is more powerful than the bishop on d3. But in this case, there is a checkmate. Yes, Shahid, Swarali, Anish, everybody. Unknowingly, yes, Tuvia, you are right about this thing. Knight to the g6 check, and it will be a check and mate because we are covering this flight square on e7. Okay, so I hope last one puzzle for double checks, and then we will shift to the next chapter. Okay, are you ready? Let's go to the next one now. Which move will you play? This is black to play. Okay, that's quite clever. I think you guys are very clever. You're solving tactics very fast. Absolutely, this bishop is being attacked by this rook, but we don't need to worry about it because we will be giving double check because this bishop is standing on this diagonal. So we can play rook into f1. We are giving check with the rook as well as we are giving check with the bishop, and that's why white doesn't have time to capture the rook on f1, or he doesn't have even time to capture the bishop on b7, and that's why it is just winning for black. It is a checkmate. Yes, Farali, you are right. Shahid, Tuvya, Anish, are everybody is Arav, you are also right about this thing. One last puzzle related to the double check, and we will move to the next chapter now. What will you play here? Always, as I was mentioning yesterday also, you should always pay attention to three things while solving tactics. One is, can you repeat it? Can you tell me in the chat which three things I told you? Ah, that's cool, Animesh, that you are in IIT. CCT, yes, Animesh, you are right about this thing. CCT means check, capture, and the threat. Whenever we are solving, we should always see threats from our side, and we should see the threats from our opponent side also. That's very very important. Don't forget that you are playing against someone, and he is also going to play in a good way. Okay? Yes, Swarari, you are right. Check, capture, and threat. Yes, Tuvia, you can. Tuvia is like my manager now. He is suggesting everything. He's like moderator. Okay, you can always join my stream at 6:30 in the evening. That is little bit complicated, but surely you can learn a lot from that thing. So coming back to this position, Shahid and Aryan has suggested correct moves to me with the correct variation. Okay, so here this bishop is sitting on the g2 square, the king is there on the b7 square, and this knight is there. So whenever we can jump with the knight, we can give checks, but we need to be clever here because if we just give this check and if he goes here, then we don't have any satisfactory checks. And one more thing, in this position the queen is there from black side and we don't have any queen, so obviously we have sacrificed the queen in this case, or we can say that white is queen down in this case, so only checkmate can save white in this position, so we should be little bit clever. Yes, Farali, you are right. Yes, Anish, you are also right. Arav, you are also right about this thing. we should play knight to the c5 check, because if he goes to the b8 square, then we are controlling this diagonal with our bishop, and we can play knight to the a6 check, and it will be a check and mate. So let's go to the next chapter now, which is there with us. Are you ready to go for the next chapter? Yes, it's a typical mate. Okay, now we are going to see not the checkmate, but some kind of a attack. Okay, because every time you are not going to checkmate your opponent, we can win some material also, as I was mentioning earlier. Means there will be some discovered. Until now we just saw like checkmate, 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 but every time it's not going to happen. That's why we should learn like how to win some material, maybe a pawn, maybe a piece, or maybe something else. Okay, so we will see discovered attack in this time. Okay, so let's see what we can do. uh, in this case, yes, this is the position now on the board. Yes. Okay. And now, as I was mentioning, there will be some material gain. We will not be checkmating our opponent king, but we will be getting some material. Now, see, discovered attacks are very, very important. Now we are not giving check with the like by discovering anything. Here, yes, Aryan, you are right. Tuvia, you are also right. Anish, you are right about this thing. We can play. Sorry. Yes, Aryan, I am understanding. You are typing too many times. The same thing. Bishop to the b5 check will be there, and we are discover like we are attacking on the queen, and he cannot really save it. So this is called as the discovered attack. We are not giving any checkmate or anything, but this is the discovered attack. By some piece we are attacking the other piece, but there was a bishop in between them. The queen was there and this queen was there, but this bishop was there. So what we did, we removed this bishop from the file, and then we are attacking on the d4 queen. We can also say that there is some kind of a x-ray attack on the d4 queen by the queen on d1. That's why bishop to the b5 is absolutely right. Oh, really? Okay, Swarali, you are also right about this thing. Okay, Aryan, it might be a tal game. I don't know exactly. This is the just tactic. Okay. Okay, if he plays bishop to the d7 or king to the e7, then definitely we can first capture the bishop, and then we will capture the queen. Okay, so let's move to the next one now. Okay, sorry, I by mistake I played the move, but still, if you have not seen the move, but I know that you guys are very fast, you must have seen the move. So I will go to the next position. This is white to play, and find out now which move will you play. Okay, always figure out or always try to understand where is the discovered attack or the x-ray attack, you can say. So there is some x-ray attack here, and as I was mentioning earlier also, we should always try to find out undefended pieces in our opponent's camp. So in this case, the queen on h3 is undefended, nobody is supporting the queen, right? And there is some x-ray attack also on the queen on h3. So if we can move this bishop somewhere at a better place, in this case we now absolutely right, your guys. Bishop a7, Aryan, Arav, Shahid, Animesh, and Krishna, Swarali, everybody is right about this thing. First we can capture the pawn on a7 with the check. Check is very important, okay, because if there was no check, then black will just capture our queen on c3. So after bishop into a7 check, he might capture king into a7, and then we will be capturing the undefended queen on h3. Okay, yes, Anish, you are right about this thing. So let's go to the next one. See how in every tactic there is some kind of a check, there is a capture, and there is a threat. Okay, it's the basic thing of each and every tactic. Okay, so what will you do now? Always look out for the undefended pieces and some kind of attack. Now in this case, okay, I'll give you some time to solve this. I'll not explain everything. Once you tell me the answer, then I will tell you. Okay, knight into d5 is suggested by Aryan here. Krishna is suggesting knight into e5. Okay, guys, please write down the complete variation which are you are talking about. Okay, you should not write down just one move. If the variation is little bit longer, then write it long, like that. Complete variation. I'm expecting a little bit complete variation from you. Okay, Swarali is saying knight into d5. Arav is also saying knight into d5 in this case. Well, that is possible, definitely. But only one person has given the right answer. I will not tell his name right now. I am waiting for your answer. Okay, Shahid has said knight into e5, queen into e5, knight d5. Okay, Aryan is also. So here, absolutely right. Krishna has given the correct answer. First of all, he was the first person who gave the correct answer. Here, I will explain you. This bishop on b2 is there. It is having some kind of like X-ray attack on the e5 square, and this knight is also attacking the knight on e5, correct? And this knight can jump somewhere, maybe to this square, maybe to this square, and we can get something. But for the people who have already talked about knight into d5, what is really happening? Well, after knight into d5, it is not compulsory for white black to capture here, because I know your idea was to, if he captures here, then we will capture the knight on e5. That was your idea, because we will be double attacking on e5. But the thing is that your opponent is not going to play only bad moves. He will also play some good moves. So what he will do, first of all, he will capture on f3 and will give you a check. Okay, so maybe you will play bishop into f3, and then he will capture the knight on d5, and in this position black will be the one who will be having extra piece. So that is not something good for us, correct? So that's why we should be clever. Which move should we play first and which we wish next? So here in this position, as Mayur has also suggested, everybody who has suggested knight into e5, they are absolutely right about this thing, because black really cannot capture the knight on e5, because if he captures the knight on e5 with the queen, then we have this beautiful check on knight to the b5 check. There is a discovered attack on the queen, because now we are giving a check and we will be winning the queen on e5. Okay, yes, Anish, you are right about this thing. So we should be little bit clever. We should see our opponent's best moves. I'm repeating this thing because many a times it happens that we see good moves from our side, but we never but sometimes it happens like we don't see good moves from our opponent's side. That's a very important, sir. 6.5 years that I have not been in competitions. Can I still? Yes, Animesh, you can always do the comeback, but I will suggest you, like, before you come back. Now there are no tournaments for next maybe 4 5 months. There will not be. So this is the best time to prepare very hard and then come back. But before you come back, I will suggest you to play lots of practice games, because as you have not played in tournament, try to play with your friends online, but don't just play blitz games. Try to play in a format in which you will be playing in the tournament. Let's suppose you are going to play 1 hour game in the tournament. So play 1 hour game with your friends or online with someone. That will give you the feel of the tournament, and you will be well prepared. So go with the preparation. I will say there is no time limit for comeback. You can always come back, but I will say that come back with preparation. Don't just go with the feeling like, okay, I want to come back, I'll play the tournament. No, not like that. Prepare for it properly, and then go for it. Okay. Okay, Divya, no problem. We are just now some more puzzles. We will solve three more puzzles of discovered attack, and then we will move to the next chapter. Let's see what happens. Which move will you play here? From white side. White to play. Which move are C4? Right, guys, write down the complete variation. I am telling you what is happening after C4. What is your threat? What will happen after C4 if you move the queen? C4 is one move. I understand. You want to discover attack on the queen because there is some X-ray attack. C4 queen moves, then C into D5. Yes, that's the answer I want from you guys. Write down. Yes. Queen G6, Queen G6, H into G6, C into D5. Yes, definitely. This is the best move from black. He might play Queen to the G6 because now you don't have time to play C into D5. First of all, you need to take care of your queen. Okay, so first play Queen into G6, H into G6, and then C into D5. We will be winning the queen in that case. Yes, guys, you are right about this was a very easy one. So let's go to the next one and figure it out what will happen. Again, I am telling you, pay attention to undefended pieces, undefended pawns in your opponent's camp. Okay, undefended pawns and undefended pieces are going to be captured. So pay attention to it. Yes, Swarali, you are also right. Shahid, you are also right about this thing. So in this position, I can see that this piece on B6 is undefended. So what will you play? Pay attention to undefended pieces. Yes, Krishna, you are right. Tubia, you are also right about this thing. Correct. We will be capturing the piece on b6 after, because this bishop on e3 is having discovered, or you can say the X-ray attack on the b6 knight, and the knight on b6 is undefended. Definitely, d5 should be played, and in this position, most probably he might play knight into d5. Okay, this is the move which you should consider, because after this also we are having double attack on the d5 square. So, and black is having only one supporter to the d5 knight, and that's why we can play knight into d5. And obviously we are winning the piece because he cannot play queen into d5. If he plays queen into d5, then he will lose more material because it will be a queen up position for us after queen into d5. Yes, Farali, you are right. Shahid, you are also right about this thing. Okay, fine. So let's go to the last two puzzles of discovered attack, and then we will shift. This is black to play. Which move will you play? Pay attention to undefended pieces. Calculate checks, captures, and threats. Always, I am repeating this thing so that it should be there in your brain whenever you are playing any move. Okay? And pay attention to your opponent's best moves. Yes, Divya has written, Aryan has also written. Aryan, please write down a little bit longer. Animesh, you should also write down what is your threat after knight to the g4, so that I should understand that you have understood the point perfectly. Ara, everybody, I'm telling you, don't just write down one move if it's not one move solution. This is not one move solution, it has a little bit more. Okay, Swarali, knight g4 is correct. I understand, but you should write down what is your threat. Shahid, you are right about this thing. If you play, okay, knight g4 is suggested by you because this queen on d4 was under attack by the bishop on g7. That is X-ray attack, and all we need to do is like move our knight to the square. In this case, it is a check, and we are winning the queen on g4. Whatever move you play, bishop into g4 or h into g4, even see, as I was telling you, when you give the check, your opponent has three options. One is he can move the king. In this case, he can move the king, or he can play capture the piece, whichever giving the check, Or he can do one more thing, like with the check with the knight we cannot do that thing, but if some other piece is giving the check, we can play some other piece in between the check. Maybe in the rook is giving the check and we can bring some piece or a pawn between, or if it's diagonally like bishop is giving the check, still we can bring some piece which will obstruct the check. Okay. Okay, I am repeating. That's why you are good in tactics too. We should know this thing. Many a times we miss this thing, and I remember like how many times you have missed this thing. You have lost many times just because you did not pay attention to the threat of your opponent. You can write down about your experience. How many times did you lose because you did not pay attention to your opponent's threat? That is very, very important. It's not just about your threat. You should pay attention to your opponent's threat also. Okay, Anish was saying like knight g4, then taking the queen. Knight d5 was also possible, but in that case, we will be capturing the d5. Okay, coming to this last position of our discovered attack, and then we will move to the next chapter. Yes, yes, only through the board, like in the normal tournament, I will say, not through the online tournaments. Online tournaments you can play, but you can get the online titles on the FIDE website. That is Arena Grandmaster, Arena International Master, and all those arenas. You need to play in the arena of FIDE. FIDE arena tournaments are there, and you can play in those online tournaments, and you will get the title there. But that title is not useful in real life. Okay, Krishna has suggested rook into d4 position is same. Okay, yes, correct. Yes, Shahid, you just yeah, to play in the arena, you we need to pay something. It's not free. Shahid also said rook into d4. This is what that's why I suggest you like the tactical pattern should be recognized by you. This is the same position. No, until now the tournaments are not rated online. It's not it there. Okay. Rook to the d4. Just 1 minute. I will close down the like my door. Somebody is there. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I hope the disturbance will not be there now. Okay, so rook into d4 we should play here, and after rook into d4, everybody is right. Whoever has already said this thing. After queen into d4, we have this same tactic which we just learned now. Knight to the g4, bishop into g4, and then bishop into d4. Okay, so now let's move to the next chapter, which is very common. I will say this type of tactics happen many a times. Can you guess the name of the next chapter? Let's see whether you can guess the name. Until I set up the board, let's just guess this because I have written it in the title also. Yes, Shahid, you are right. To be also, it's a skewer. So now we will see what is skewer. Okay, we will start with the very easy one. So this is the basic position of skewer, I will say. So basically skewer means we will be attacking some other piece. Like in this case, we are giving the check. Okay, this rook is there. We are giving the check to this king, but there is some other piece behind it. So skewer means attacking the piece which is behind some other piece. In this case, the king is standing on the e4 square, but there is a rook on the e8 square. And actually, we are indirectly attacking this rook on e8 because the king must move. So whenever the king moves here, any direction, king f5 or king d5, anywhere he moves, we will be capturing the rook on e8. Okay. Okay, did you understand? We will be attacking a piece which is behind some other piece. That is skewer. It can happen with the king, it can happen with anything. Okay, so we will see plenty of examples with the skewer because skewer is a very common theme. So let's try to solve this thing and try to understand. There are different types of skewers. Obviously, this position we can play rook e1 and this is the same. Okay, let's go to the next one and now tell me in this position, pay attention to the undefended pieces, undefended pawns, and also checks and captures. Okay, if you pay attention to this thing, then definitely you will always get the tactics. First one or second one? First gameplay. Yeah, skewer. Yes, yes. It's just like pin, but here it's not a pin. In pin, what happens? Like this knight will be there on e6 and the king will be there on g8. Then we will be playing bishop to the in pin, a big piece, or you can say the major piece behind the minor piece. Okay, in this case is what is there, the major piece is in front of the minor piece is behind and major piece is in front. This is the difference between skewer. Okay, did you understand the difference between pin and the skewer? I hope you understood. Okay. Okay, these guys are talking about their initial stages of their playing state. Okay, I will just ignore it and we will focus on the chapter. Okay, so bishop to the c4 check. Now in this case, we have this major piece, that is king is there and the minor piece is there behind the major piece. So we are giving a check, the king will move and the undefended knight on g8 will be captured in this case. Okay. Okay, but I will tell you, like I have also missed many times skewer in my life, but now I don't miss skewer basically because I have solved lots of tactics. So basic things we don't miss. So it's all about practice, I will say. Mayur and Tuvia, I know that you have practiced tactics now, and that's why you are getting stronger and stronger. That is the secret of mastering any skill, or you can say improving in anything. You just need to prepare and practice. Okay. Preparation and practice is different. Okay guys, preparation is when, like when you don't know the chapter or when you don't know something, you learn about it, you get the knowledge and everything, and when you get the knowledge, that is your preparation for everything. And then practice is repetition of the thing which you have already learned. So don't confuse with preparation and practice. Practice is like repetition. Once you know something, you keep on practice. Like in cricket, they say like Tendulkar used to practice for hours and hours to play the ball like in the best possible way to do the cover drive. He learned for, first of all, how to do the cover drive, and then he practiced it. Okay. So first of all, we should get the knowledge and then we should practice about it. So queen e4 is suggested, a3, then I won't work, not including king on g8. Sir, if the white king was on a3, then it won't. Yes, definitely. If the king was on a3, or even if the pawn is not there, after queen to the e4, he will give us a check. So obviously that will not work. In this case, we will be playing queen e4. We will be attacking this rook on d5, and the knight on b7 is also undefended. So that's why it is a good thing for us, and it is undefended. So whenever the you will move the rook, we will be capturing the knight on b7. Okay. Okay, guys, we will move to the next. Swarali, you are right about the answer here. Shahid, you are also right. Arav, you are also right about this thing. Divya, you are also right. Okay, let's go to the next one and try to find out what happened. This is a little bit more complicated than the previous one. So I hope that you will get it. First of all, you need to play some moves and then you will get the skewer thing. But to get the skewer, always remember that major piece will be in front of it and some minor piece will be behind the major piece. Okay. Okay, Aryan, see you after some time. Okay, Divya has come up with the answer quite quickly. He is suggesting queen into f1, king into f1, then rook to the d1 check, king e2, rook e1. Okay, I will wait for other people's answers also, what they think about this thing. Anish is giving some answer. Okay, and then we will move to the next chapter. Not chapter, we are going to solve more puzzles of skewer because skewer is the most important thing I think in tactics because it happens quite frequently. Okay, Sorali Ani Tubia also has suggested the queen to the f1. Shahid is also saying queen into f1. So I will go with the queen to the f1. Okay, queen f1 is actually the best move in this position. Then white must capture. He doesn't have any other option. And as we can see, as I was mentioning earlier also, pay attention to undefended pieces. In this case, white's rook on his e6 is undefended. So that's why we can win the rook by playing rook to the d1 check. The king must move to the e2 square because he doesn't have any square. And then we will play rook to the e1. Now this is a skewer. There is a major piece here on e2 square and the minor piece, that minor piece than the king is there on the e6 square and it is a skewer. Okay, he will play this move and then we will be capturing rook into e6 and we will be rook up in this position. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, Krishna try to, okay, this one is white to play. Okay, which move will you play? Where is the skewer? Okay, Snehal is also here. Thanks Snehal for joining us. Snehal is my very old friend. Okay, bishop to the g2 you are suggesting here. Yes, definitely guys, this is a very easy one. Animesh, Divya, Anish, Krishna, you all are. Aryan, you are also right because we are giving a check with the king and the queen is behind the king. Okay, and that's why we will win the queen. Yes, Swarali, you are also right about this thing. King will be played here and we will be capturing the queen on a8. Okay, so let's move to the next one. We are going to solve more puzzles of skewer because this is very important. Even though it looks easy, but believe me, in our games this skewer is going to happen many times. It is white to play. Okay, what will you play here? Always try to find out undefended pieces and you can see the bishop on e7 as well as the bishop on f7. These pieces are undefended in this case and there can be some tactic on these squares. Yes, definitely, guys. Whoever is writing the complete variation, I will only take their answers correctly. Swarali, Krishna, you are writing. Aro, you are just writing one move. I need at least two moves, complete variation. Okay. So bishop to the b3. When you move the king somewhere, in this case we have only one square, that is the c6 square, and then we will be capturing the undefended piece on f7. Okay. Yes, Shahid, Anish, you are right about this thing. Let's solve. How many puzzles do you want to solve of skewer? Tell me. We will solve that many puzzles. I have plenty of puzzles of skewer. No, 1000. No, 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 no. Okay, we will solve uh, 10 more puzzles of skewer. Okay. Okay, you are suggesting me the move bishop to the g5 check, and the king will move, and then the bishop into c1. C1, yes, the rook on c1 is hanging in that case. Definitely, you are right about that thing. Yes, Divya, you are also right about that thing. Bishop to the g5 will be played, and whenever the king will move e1 square or d3 square, we will be capturing the rook on c1 in that case. Okay. Okay, fine. So bishop into c1, and now we will move to the next puzzle. But little bit, I will try to give you a little bit tricky one this time. Okay, I will at least try. There are no tricky puzzles, but okay, wait, just 1 minute. Okay, give me some time. I need to find out which moves can be tricky. Okay, there are no tricky right now. Okay, we will stick to this thing only. We'll go to the next one. We'll figure it out if some tricky comes. Okay, black to play in this position. Animesh, Divya, you are right. Yeah, there are always some kind of tricks that are there. If this thing is there, this thing will not work. If this thing is not, that thing not work. But we should always focus on the board, what works and what not works. So this is the, you can say, like the position which we were just solving, but one move previously, right? Yes, Anish, you are right. Rook into d2, king into d2, and we will get the same puzzle. We'll get the same position. That's why again I am repeating, we should solve tactics so that you will know the pattern. Yes, same position. Yes, Krishna, you are right about this thing. This is similar. Yes, definitely. We should first play rook into d2. Unless and until we don't understand the previous puzzle, we will not be able to get this puzzle quickly. Okay, rook into d2, king into d2, and bishop g5. Wherever the king moves, we will capturing the bishop with the rook. Rook on c1 will be captured. Okay, let's go to the next one now. This is black to play. Which move will you play? Okay, this is a little bit more white. Switch it off. Okay, you are suggesting me different moves here. Anish is saying something. Divya. Rook f3, king f3, bishop to the g4. Yes, guys, only Divya has written the complete variation. Shahid also has written the complete variation. I'm proud of you guys. Whoever is writing complete variation, I'm really happy. Okay. Swarali has written a little bit, only one move, but after rook into f3, king into f3, Swarali, you should write down what is your idea, because bishop g4 is very very important in this position. If you don't play bishop to the g4, then the position is not solved. I will give you only half marks, I will say. I will not give you full marks. Okay, so here bishop to the g4, and if the king moves here, then bishop into d1, and it will be winning position for black, because we will be having two extra pieces in this case. So let's go to the next one. Which move will you play? Okay guys, I'm telling you, after 2 more days I will be taking your test, kind of a thing. I will give you a little bit difficult puzzles without any hint, and you need to answer them. Okay, I'll not give you any hint. You just need to tell me. Means I will not tell you what type of puzzle it like this. You know that there is a skewer in this position, but I will not tell you anything. Is there in skewer? Is there in discord attack? No tip, no thing, nothing like that. You just need to think by yourself, and the puzzles will be mixed up, and you need to tell me. Okay? It is white to play. It is white to play. Yes, Swarali, it is white to play. I forgot to tell. Yes, white to play. Mayur, you are right. Krishna, write down the complete variation. I expect complete variations. At least two moves you should write down. Why are you being lazy? Yeah, yeah. Black cannot really do any. Yes, there will not be any themes. Okay, so bishop to the d6 is absolutely right. Suggested by you guys, Shahid, Divya, Mayur. I cannot read the message, Tuvya, now. It's gone upward. So if you can retype the message, then it will be good. Can you write down the message once again or copy paste it so that I'll get it again? Queen to the a5 or somewhere the queen, wherever it moves, we will just capture the rook on b8. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, now here, this is the previous position, I can say. How will you get the position which we just solved? Okay, we are going to solve 5 more puzzles of skewer and then we will move to the next one. Which move will you play? Come on guys, this is the same puzzle you can say, but a little bit one move earlier. It's not that difficult. You can solve this. We should always see what is happening in the future. One move ahead or two moves ahead. You understand one point. You know some pattern and try to apply that pattern in the position. Yes, Krishna, you are this time. Yes, Shahid, you are also right. Tuvia, you are also right in this case. Definitely. Is there anyone? I will wait for your answer. I'll get the answers. Then I will go for the one. D into e5, same, same. Yes, you are right. Bishop d6. Yes, definitely wins full rook. Okay, fine. Not the full rook. Okay, knight into e5 only wins the full rook. Definitely, I agree with you. So we should start with d into e5. If knight into e5 is played, then obviously we can play knight into e5. D into e5 and then bishop will come to the d6 square. It will be a skewer because queen is there, the rook is there in the same diagonal and we will be winning. Definitely guys, you are right about this thing, and if you place d into e5 then we can just play bishop to the d6. This is same like the previous one and we will be winning in this case. Okay, so here which move will you play from black side? This is black to play. So whatever you were telling, can you write down the thing which you were talking about, because I did not read the message. Your message still is not there. I'm not able to get your message. There is no message. I cannot read it. Okay, Anish is saying bishop to the e6, queen moves, and then the rook on a2. Yes, you are absolutely right about this thing. There might be a skewer. I think Tuve, you are writing something which is not allowed in chat. That's why I'm not able to see. Guys, can you see Tuve's message here? Because I cannot see anything. I can just see themes. Okay, Swarali has written. Yeah, we cannot see his message. Tuve, we cannot see your message. Okay, you can tell me, like, maybe the format is not. Bishop e6, queen moves somewhere, and then we will be capturing the rook on a2. Very good. Okay. Yeah, the themes, he is writing some things, but I think he is writing all the themes, but it is not being displayed here, maybe. So bishop to the e6, and wherever the queen moves, then we will be captured. But one thing is that he will not play queen to the d3, he will play queen to the e2. This is the best move for him, because in that case, if we capture here, but we will be exchange up. So what is exchange up? I have never told you about exchange up. Exchange up means when we compare rook and one minor piece. It can be knight or a bishop, whatever it is. In that case, as we were talking about in the first day, that rook has 5 points and knight or the bishop has 3 points. So we say that the position, in that case we say we have exchange up. So exchange up means piece up, pawn up, queen up, like that exchange up. If we calculate the piece or look at the pieces, black has 2 rooks, okay, and 1 bishop and queen, and white has queen, rook, bishop and the knight. So if you compare, bishop is compared with the bishop, that is nullified. The queen is there for queen, one rook is there for one rook, but black has one rook for the knight. So you can say that black is exchange up. Okay, do you understand this thing, what is exchange up? I hope you understood what does it mean by exchange up, because many a times people say I'm pawn up, I'm piece up, I'm this up, that up. In that, exchange up is something which is not that common. We should know what is exchange up. Okay, okay, this is almost like the previous one, but a little bit one move earlier. So I hope you will get it quite quickly now. Which move will you play here? Yes, Anish, you are right about this thing. First of all, we should play knight into c4, queen into c4, and then we will go to the previous puzzle which was there like that, bishop to the e6, and then we can play queen anywhere, and queen to the e2, and most probably we'll play bishop into 8. Yes, Divya, you are right about this thing. We'll capture on c4, and then after bishop to the e6, queen will move back, and then we will be exchange up. Black will be exchange up in this case. Okay, last three puzzles for Skewer. Let's see what you can do. This is black to play in this position. Which move will you play? No, Tuvia, we cannot see the message. Maybe Tuvia, write it down in Skype. I will get to know. Write down in Skype. This is black to play. Which move will you play? Okay, I got only one answer till now. Krishna has given me the answer, but I expect that you guys will tell me, or more people will tell me. There are 12 people here. I hope. Okay, Krishna, that's very good. I expect at least two moves from you now. New is here. New, very good. New is always regular in my evening streams. Thanks for coming now also. Bishop to the g4. Okay, queen will move any direction, maybe to the d2 square or the e1 square, and we are attacking this rook on d1. Okay, Vidya is also bishop g4. She is suggesting after bishop into d1, queen into d1, we will be having a great position, because in this case again black will be exchange up. Okay. Yes, the pawn on f2 is pinned. He cannot move the pawn because this bishop is sitting on the c5 square and the king on g1 is there. That's why it is a pin. So the pawn cannot move. Thanks for pointing it out, Mayur. You are very sharp. Very good. So here it is white to play. Which move will you play? Okay, I got some message from Tuvia. Okay, I understood why it was not showing bishop to the d5 Vaibhav. Okay, Tuvia, you should not write down any website's name in the comments. If you write down any website.com or anything, the message will not be posted. Okay, without the message, just post it here. Or if you want to write down the name of the website, then write down chess instead of dot, write down dot and then write down the full message. Okay, then it will be posted. Can you post it here? Then it will be visible to everyone. Yes. Okay, Shahid, you are also right. Divya, you are also right. Arav, you are right about this thing. Everybody is correct about bishop to the d5, and then the rook is attacked. The bishop, the knight on b7 is being attacked, and we will be playing rook here, and then bishop into b5. Okay, last one puzzle for this skewer theme. Which move will you play? Last puzzle for skewer. Learning mode puzzles in which you can choose a theme. Okay, nice. Okay, fine. Yes, definitely. In on chess.com we can go to the learning thing, and we can. Okay, for you guys I will show you how you can do it. If you want me to show how it is worked on chess.com, I can show you. Bishop b4, rook to the d8, and bishop into f8. Yes, definitely. The rook is there. Bishop to the b4 is a good move. He can move the rook, or he can move this rook also here. It is same like that. If he moves this rook here, then we can capture the rook, and then we will be having one extra rook. Very good. Divya, you are right. Tuvya, you are also right. Krishna, Divya, everybody is right about this thing. This was an easy one. And okay, there are multiple puzzles of Skewer, but I would like to move to the next theme. Okay, so as Tuvya was mentioning, yes, definitely. In the next team today, I want to complete some themes. So for some more time, we will be streaming. You can go and have your lunch. Okay, fine. So the next theme which we will be seeing is double threats. Okay, we have seen double attack, we have seen double check, discovered check also. Not today. Divya, I will play the games maybe from 1 or 2. After 1 or 2 days, I will play the games in the end part. Okay, but not today. Not today. Okay, the next theme which we are going to see is double threats. Okay, and after this theme, we will end our today's stream. So be there. Now we are going to see something interesting. Okay, this is the position on the board, and we are going to solve it. This is the double threat. Okay, in this case, what is the double threat? We are threatening two things at the same time. First of all, we are threatening to capture the bishop on c3, and another thing is that we are threatening checkmate to our opponent's king here. Okay, so there are two things which is happening in this. It is black to play obviously in this position, or white to play, whatever it is. But what we are suggesting is like we are threatening two things. Okay, mate and the bishop on c3 is being attacked. Okay, yes, definitely. Vidya, Krishna, you are right about this thing. So this was the easier one. I will go to the next one, and then you tell me what are the threats in the position. So in this position, if you go back, then rook to the c5 will give two threats, and this is the same position which we were talking about earlier. Okay, Anish, we'll meet tomorrow at the same time at 11:30. Okay. Okay, now this is white to play, and you need to figure out two threats in this position. Always pay attention to undefended pieces, undefended pawns, and try to attack them. And if you can threat something, check, capture, and the threat. Okay? Yes. Okay. Vidya, Krishna, Divya, you are right about this thing. Divya's answer is absolutely right. I like the answer because he is showing me the threat also, which is very, very important in this case. I'll wait for other people's answer also. Aryan is suggesting bishop to the e4 in this case. Very good. Swarali is also saying bishop to the e4. The move is bishop e4 is quite good because we are threatening first of all to capture the rook on b1, as well as we are threatening to give a checkmate on h7 square because our bishop is supporting the h7 square, right? And that's why it is a winning position for us. So this is a winning position. Okay, let's move to the next puzzle now. This is white to play, and which move will you play? There should be two threats in the position. We are not attacking anything, as we have always seen checks, captures and the threats. There might be a checkmate after some time, but we can always give the threat. Pay attention to undefended pieces, okay? We will have class at 1:30. Is that okay, Tuvia? 1:30 or 2 o'clock? That is fine. It's up to you. 2 o'clock will be better, I think. We'll have class at 2 o'clock. Okay. Aryan is suggesting queen to the d4, attack the knight, as well as checkmate on g7. Absolutely right about this thing. Divya, you are also right about this thing. Divya is the okay. Vidya, try to answer the question completely. Okay, queen d4, if you just write down, I will give you only half marks because you are not telling me the threat. What is your idea? You should write down your idea also. So you are going to capture the knight on a7, and we are even threatening g7. So most probably black will save the checkmate. He will play something like f6, so that we will not be able to give the checkmate on g7. But that doesn't stop us from capturing the a7 knight, and we will be getting one extra piece in this position. And if he saves the knight with knight to the b5 or something, then obviously we can play queen to the g7 or queen to the h8, check and mate. Okay, so let's go to the next puzzle. Which move will you play? Try to give two threats at the same time. Okay, which move will you play? This is our last theme. We are going to solve maybe five more puzzles and then we will stop our today's theme. Okay, so tell me, what will you play here? I'm waiting for your answer, guys. Okay, I am getting mixed answers here. Divya is saying rook d4. Okay, fine. Rook to the d4 and rook to the e7, threatening mate on a h7. Okay, Aryan has given the answer. Divya has also given the answer. I'll wait for other people's answer here. Yes, Swarali is also saying rook e7, mate on h7, as well as we are attacking the queen, which is sitting on the d7 square. So guys, you are right about this move also and this move also, but I will prefer playing rook to the e7 because it is not hanging rook, and we are attacking the queen, as well as we are threatening queen into h7, check and mate, because our bishop on c2 is sitting there and it is still threatening the h7 pawn. So that's why maybe whatever your opponent plays, if he tries to defend the checkmate with g6 move, then we will capture the queen and we will be queen up. Or if he doesn't capture the, like if he captures the queen here, then obviously we will play queen to the h7, check and mate. Yes, definitely. So we will move to the next one now. It is black to play. Which move will you play? Last four puzzles for us. which is the move which you can play here. B7 bishop as well as rook to the b1. Absolutely right. Divya, you are quite quick in this case. Aryan, you are also right about this thing. Rook to the b4, and then we will be threatening the bishop on b7, which is hanging, as well as we are threatening rook to the b1, check and mate. Very good, very good. Rook to the b1. For previous one, I had written queen h7, king h7, rook h4, double check with mate. Oh, I missed it, like, because we did not see your. Okay, why I did not see your? Let me check. Okay, Mayur, we did not get your. We did not get the message here. Maybe means I did not get it. Okay, we will move to the next one also, because we want to see what was. So it didn't show up, sorry. Okay, 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 because if you write down the website name. So this was the puzzle previous one or no? Okay, this was not there. This was there. Yeah, queen into. Yes, yes, definitely queen h7, but this is a very difficult one. This is a very difficult, but this is if you play this thing, but you are giving the check, but here he can play king to the g8. What will you do with that thing? Okay, king g8 is there, and after that you can just get a draw, I think, as the way suggesting bishop h7, king h8, and maybe bishop check here, and it will be a draw, I think, right? So I think queen into h7 is something which is difficult to calculate also, I will say, and unnecessarily it is not that good, like it is a little bit flashy move. It should be a draw with check 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 perpetual, but after this I'll just tell you perpetual check is also something which we will be looking at. That is a defensive resource we will be looking at, but not today, maybe tomorrow. Okay, rook e7 is best, yes, definitely. So this is a good way to draw the game, but not to win. Okay, but we will get to the perpetual check in the next lecture, but not today. Okay, last three puzzles for today now, and let's see what we are going to find out here. This is white to play, and tell me which move will you play. Yes, definitely we should look at the intermediate moves, or I will simply say that we should look at our opponent's best moves, because opponent is also there and he is also going to play good moves, so we should not forget that thing. Okay. Okay, bishop to the c7. You are suggesting me this move. Okay, fine. Okay, but I will wait for other people's answers also here. Shahid, Tuvya. Okay, bishop to the c7. Okay, guys, it is white to play. It is white to play, Divya. Okay, Mayur is suggesting bishop to the c7, rook e8, and bishop into b6. Okay, Vidya is saying bishop to the c7 to attack the queen to mate. Very good, very good. Because as we learned this thing, there is a back rank checkmate is there, which we learned in the first day. The back rank checkmate is there. That is the threat for us, and we will be attacking the undefended queen on b6 in this case. Farali, you are right also about this thing. Back rank checkmate. Do you remember the back rank checkmate? I hope you remember. If queen is captured on c7, queen into c7, then definitely we can play rook to the f8, and it's a check and mate. And if black thinks that okay, he can play something like h6, then white can play bishop into b6, and he will be having one extra piece in this case. Okay, next puzzle now, and I would like to tell you, like, I have other videos also in on my channel. Do watch them, because there is classical section is there, there is Paul Morphy's games are there, and there is one more series I am doing that is related to the Williams tennis. He was the first world chess champion. All those games are also interesting. You can look at those games and you can learn a lot from these masters. So look at those games, and you can say the videos, you will learn something new. Okay. Okay, what will you play from black to play in this position? Okay, okay. This is black to play. Sorry, black to play. Threatening queen and also checkmate on h2. Yes, this is black to play. Divya, you are right about this thing. And Vidya, you cannot really move the knight here, even if it's white to play, because there is a pin on this rank, you can say. Shahid, you are right about this thing. Rook to the f2, you should play here in this position. And after that, we are threatening to capture the queen, and also rook to the h2. If he captures our queen, then the bigger threat is like we can play rook to the h2 and it's a check and mate. Okay, that's very important. Even if you are giving up the queen, you can still checkmate with rook to the h2. Yes, Varali, you are also right in this position. Yes, definitely. If we capture something like queen here, then we can capture, and then again we are threatening two things. We are capturing the rook on e3, as well as we are threatening queen to the h2 check and mate. So I think that the mate is going to happen, maybe not here or maybe after some time. So let's look at this last puzzle for today, and then we will end the stream, and we will meet maybe in the evening. If you are going to be there in the evening, you can join me at 6:30, or tomorrow morning 11:30. Which move will you play? This is white to play. White to play, which move will you play? And this is related to, I will tell you, back rank checkmate. You need to understand that queen on c5 is supporting the rook on f8, and if you can deflect this, if you can deflect this queen somewhere else, if you can force him to go somewhere else, then we will be winning, because rook into f8 will be a check and mate. Okay, Tubir, we will have at 1:30, no problem. Okay, if you play rook into f8 in this position, then I will capture it back, because I am supporting the rook on f8 already. So we need to do something else. We need to threat. We need to give two threats in this position. Aryan is suggesting queen to the e5. Okay, queen e5. Krishna, you are there. Yes, absolutely right. Queen e5 should be played in this position, because if you play queen e5, okay, this move looks very very strange, because we are giving up the queen. Okay, means there is no support for our queen, and this, if you are going to play this move, it takes a lot of courage to play this, because once you give, okay, queen into e5, if you play, after that rook into f8 is a check and mate. And if he doesn't do this thing, if he captures your rook with rook into f7, then his queen on c5 is hanging, and we can play queen into c5 and we will be winning the queen. And there is also one threat is there. We are threatening queen into g7 check and mate. So yes, and also we are threatening queen into g7. Even if the queen moves anywhere to keep the support of the f8 rook, we can play queen into g7 and it will be a checkmate. So we can say it is not just about two threats, there are multiple threats in this position. And this puzzle was a little bit complicated, I understand, but as we know that we should solve a little bit higher puzzles or difficult puzzles also. Okay. Okay. So guys, I hope you understood the themes which we looked at today, and we will meet with some new themes tomorrow, and then I think all the themes will be completed. Thanks for joining me, and if possible, do come at 6:30. We will have more fun. Okay? Thanks for joining me. Goodbye, and have good lunch. Okay? See you then. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. Thank you, Mayur, for being there. Thank you, everyone. Divya.